Mr. Lombardi once told me that it would never have crossed his mind to have anybody like me join that team. He thought it was the most outrageous idea.
But you know, George, we carry 4 quarterbacks now. And to ask us to carry 5, I think that would be a real headache. I just don't think it will work. Have you tried the AFL?
Many NFL cast-offs did try the wild new league, including quarterbacks Len Dawson and Jack Kemp.
People still come up to me and say, hey, I used to love those old AFL games. The games were fun, thanks to the coaching and thanks to the entrepreneurial newness of the league. And the risk that it was, they had to make it interesting, and it was wide open.
And the National Football League was much like the Big Ten. 3 downs and a cloud of dust. They didn't throw the ball very much. We were a passing league. People wanted to see you throw the ball. They didn't give a damn who caught it.
The American Football League's fast-moving, field-stretching style ultimately changed the way pro football was played. But initially, the emphasis on passing was less a strategic ploy than a marketing gimmick.
To interest the fans, we had to put it up. They'd score quicker. It rang that cash register, and that's what we were interested in.
When the AFL was formed in 1960, cash registers rarely rang. New York's Titans were one of several franchises plagued by lousy facilities and low attendance.
Their team hadn't caught on yet because they were fighting the Giants. And for the television, they would push all the fans over in one section. So when they'd have the crowd shot, you wouldn't see an empty stadium. And they took it another step further. They played canned applause over the loudspeaker. At that time, the National Football League did not take the AFL very seriously. They thought that they could be here and then gone. Interestingly enough, it was that attitude that allowed the AFL to grow, because the result was that the AFL signing the vast majority of the top college football players.
As a coach, I used to go out on Saturday to watch college players. And I had gone that Saturday to watch Auburn play Alabama. And Sid Gilman said to me, "What'd you see?" And I said, "I saw a guy who tips the field." He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "This son of a bitch plays like he's always going downhill. I mean, he's so good. He plays like he's going downhill." He said, "Who is it?" I said, "A kid Namath out of Pennsylvania."
In 1965, Joe Namath joined the AFL's Jets when the NFL's Cardinals wouldn't take his signing demands seriously enough.
2 representatives from the Cardinals came to my dormitory in University of Alabama, and we met up in my dorm room, and they told me they had drafted me, which I was aware of, and asked me what I wanted to sign. And I told them $200,000, and they both leaned back. "Oh my goodness," fell down on the bed. The guy was standing here and leaned back against the wall screaming like they were in agony. And after they calmed down a little bit, I said, "There's one more thing." They said, "What?" I said, "A new car." They said, "A new car too?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "What kind of car?" I said, "A Lincoln Continental." And they said, "Oh, it figures that thing." They went nuts.
All right, 75 double choice. Flanker, Argo out, and Tago on 2.
Heavily marketed by Jets owner Sonny Rubin, the immensely gifted rookie enhanced the viability of the new league and helped effect a merger agreement with the NFL in 1966. But Namath was a maverick, and to him, the NFL was strictly establishment.
The NFL had great players, but everybody had to wear their hair the same style, behave the same. They didn't have the liberty to be themselves, I don't think. And Mr. Warburton allowed his team, especially me, to be myself. And it was in the fishbowl in New York. It was wonderful. Sometimes they talk about drinking and conniving around with ladies and stuff. It seems almost un-American to me for a bachelor not to marry, go around having a drink with a lady now and then. And why all of a sudden that started becoming evil in me, I don't know. But some people don't like it. Well, you can't please everybody. I'm just trying to get along, just trying to get by. Look at that shot. Contrary to NFL football, Sonny Werblin believed in the star system, in making movies and entertainment, and filling the stands, putting people on the field that the fans could relate to it. They wanted to come see special, the star system.
When he would leave, say, San Diego Stadium or something like that, and here we are, we're on the road, we're the road team. 5,000 fans after a ball game would be out there just to see Joe Namath, to wave to him, to touch him, and the girls were screaming for him, and the cops that were surrounding him trying to give him protection. They told me they had never seen anything like that since the Beatles.
There he was in New York, being this grand character that he was, and that ultimately made him a commercial vehicle. Above and beyond his football skills, although that's what it was based on. Great athletes, particularly in that era, the biggest risk they could ever take is to try and change, because there is a certain amount of what they do that's almost magic, and Namath found that the magic was in being himself and putting himself out there and pushing the edge of that envelope. Namath was the first great commercial property out of football.
Joe Namath in Beauty Miss Pantyhose? Yes, we did it to prove that Beauty Miss can make any legs look like $1 million.
Now, I don't wear pantyhose, but if Beauty Miss can make my legs look good, imagine what they'll do for yours.
Whenever I saw it the first time, I turned my head away. I couldn't look at it anymore. I didn't look at it for years. I really didn't.
But nothing manufactured by mortal man could make Namath's legs look good. During his 13 pro seasons, he underwent 5 knee surgeries.
The idea of Namath after so many surgeries, and which costs him his mobility, which makes everything that he does that much more amazing. And he plays with that horrid pain, and it's like that red badge of courage. A guy who will play with that kind of pain is a guy everybody respects.
By the late 60s, Namath's courage and competitive fire helped establish him as the most celebrated athlete in America. He made headlines with his outstanding deeds and outrageous comments, like a certain guarantee he made at a banquet prior to Super Bowl III.
I got up to the podium, and about the time I'm getting ready to talk, a guy in the back of the room, "Hey, Namath, we're gonna kick your..." You know what? I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, I got news for you. We're gonna win the game, I guarantee it. Our team wasn't getting respect, and that's how the guarantee came out. It was not planned, it wasn't premeditated, it was just anger and frustration, and I really believed we were gonna win the game.
The Jets entered the contest as 17-point underdogs. But game MVP Namath engineered one of the most shocking upsets in sports history. Joe Namath always fancied himself a rebel. But when Super Bowl III reached its climax, he joined a privileged fraternity that has grown in stature over the course of 75 seasons, a fraternity of champions.
When the game ended, there was such a feeling of elation, joy, tickling explosion inside. The teammates, we did it! We did it, And it was wonderful. And going off that field, it was kind of like a finality of it. Yes, and everybody's cheering and funny. We did it, we did it, we did it. We were number one. Now, I never put my hand up like that for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the only time. And it was just a feeling. I didn't think about it. It was just, yes, yes, yes. Oh, it was great.